Boxing fans, this is going to be a weekend to remember. There's major fights all weekend long, and I know you are not going to want to miss a single second. And while you're watching, don't forget to get in on all the action with my partners, DraftKings Sportsbook. DraftKings is offering all new customers $200 in bonus bets instantly after betting just $5. So don't wait. Sign up right now. All you got to do is download the DraftKings app. When you sign up, use my promo code Sonnen. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Stay in on the action and use your $200 in same-game parlays for a chance at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same fight. Love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings has got you covered. Bet live on in-progress fights as they happen, making watching the game that much more exciting. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Pick 6, giving you a shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. New customers use my promo code Sonnen. Bet just $5 and you will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code Sonnen only at DraftKings Sportsbook. I want to know that you know this. What are belts for? Why do we have them? Recognize champions. Sure. Good job if you said that. Equal answer: to be defended. It's important that you understand that. Very basic concept, but it's important that you understand that. We do not hand out belts in retirement. Just for example, when you get inducted into the Hall of Fame, we do not hand out belts. Just for example, if you do a great job, you become a number one contender, we don't hand out belts. You sell out arenas, you move the needle on pay-per-views. We don't hand out belts. They are to be defended. Do we understand that concept, and do we agree? All right, great. Now, I have been stunned because I've never seen anything like it. Jon Jones, Tom Aspinall is a flame that is burning. It is not a flame that is growing. And I will just tell you, by the numbers, the interest in this fight is getting less and less. Now, what really interests me there is, first off, I've not seen that. I can give you a number of examples of fights and where one side refuses or resists, it ends up adding to it. So I have my own guesses as to why this fight is dying. And my strongest guess is the audience doesn't believe they're going to get it. And the audience isn't going to get behind and be excited for something that they believe is going to lead them to a disappointment. So, too good to be true. Now that'd be a good problem to have. If I'm right in my analysis, that'd be a great problem to have. But I've never seen it, guys. I have never seen a fight, as you build to it and you work to it and you go back and forth in the media, lose traction like I have this. So, what would you do in that spot? Now, the reason I bring you the idea that belts are to recognize champions and that belts are to be defended, it's not as simple as the UFC could step in and strip one of these guys. It is impossible to have an interim champion in the presence of an undisputed champion. So the moment the bell rang for Jon Jones versus Stipe, Tom Aspinall ceases to be champion. But that's not what happened. So if Jon, who is your undisputed champion, which again is impossible, in the presence of an interim champion, you cannot have an undisputed champion. But we do. Now, you have those belts to recognize greatness, and you have those belts to be defended. So if one of those belts is not going to be defended, it would be very interesting if the holder of that belt gave it back. They already should have taken it. It is an impossible term. I don't make up words. It is impossible to be undisputed in the presence of interim. But it's also impossible to be interim in the presence of undisputed. So, Even though I could plead that even to 12 people too dumb enough to get out of jury duty, I'm not suggesting we take them both away. So we got to take one away. Which one do you take? And the belt is not there just to recognize greatness. It is there to be defended. So which one is not going to be defended? And I'm only suggesting to you, I'm only theorizing. And we have the biggest fight in the industry, and it's dying. And over the last 3 years, we've lost the biggest fight in the industry 3 different times. And if I was to go back 3 years ago, it would have been Francis Ngannou versus Jon Jones. It's just for example. So there's been a number of times when we have lost our biggest fight. And Tom and Jon is interesting. I mean, you've got to understand, if you're going to negotiate, okay, if you're a man of honor, you will honor the responsibility and the integrity and the letter of your contract that you've already signed. So there's nothing to talk about. There's no room for you to come out and say, well, that's a big fight and we're going to have to sit down and talk. No. So what we do over here is we try to make big fights, but you and me, we already talked. You got an active contract. You want to know what this fight pays? Go look at your contract. But as soon as that stopped being the standard of the industry, then nobody was wrong. Nobody was wrong to push back and want to violate and renegotiate contracts as soon as it was done for the first guy. And that was done 20 years ago. So this is the spot that we're in. But if you're going to negotiate through the media and you're going to win, you must control the media. And this has been done a number of times. I could give you examples each time, but everybody that's in the business understands the business. And if you were good enough or lucky enough to position it to where the fans are clamoring for the fight and the one that's going to look bad, you got red corner and blue corner are agreeing. And the one that's going to look bad is the promoter if the promoter can't get it done. That is the time and the only time that you're going to get the big money that you're negotiating for. And that's just the way it works. And everybody that gets in the table is going to see that and go, wow, whether you manifested this, manufactured this, or simply found yourself in this spot, this is the spot where you get paid. Good job. Let's get you paid. Absence of that, there should not be a respect shown for it. I can't find Tom and Jon in a headline anywhere. Anywhere. I find people talking about the fight all the time. I can find comments on the fight. I can find videos like this on the fight, not in the top spot. They're buried down at 2 or 3. Dean Thomas, big voice, works for ESPN. He gave comments on the fight yesterday. You're not going to be able to find it unless you go do a Google search. It's already buried. That was yesterday. They're losing steam within this fight. And if you're attempting to negotiate for money, but you're not controlling the media, if you don't have people begging and wanting to see it, saying, hey, man, what's the holdup? These 2 dudes say they want to do it. Now it's your job. Go get your job done. If you don't have that, you don't have anything, and they don't have that here. So what are they going to do? How are you going to add something to it? Well, it would be interesting if one of them gave the belt back. The company should have already stripped somebody just because it's impossible to have interim and undisputed together. It's impossible. But since they didn't, what would happen if one of the guys gave the belt back? The belts are there not only to recognize greatness, they are there to be defended. There's not a third reason you have a belt. Those are the 2. But you know you're not going to defend one of them. If you get Tom and Jon together, it's going to be for Jon's belt. Tom's isn't up. Tom's isn't being defended in that scenario. So why wouldn't Tom give it back? Or is Tom's going to be defended? Are they not going to get Jon to the table? In which case you would strip him and elevate Tom's so Tom wouldn't need the interim anyway. It should have been taken from him. Those are the rules.